Well, good morning. Thank you so much for that rousing welcome. That's pretty exciting. I don't always get that kind introduction or that rousing welcome. Many of you have heard me tell this story already, and I'm going to tell it again. But as you know, we all ran for re-election last year, and I was running for re-election. Been serving for 8 years for my district. I was speaking to a woman's club in Clinton, where I live. And the lady introduced me, and she finished her introduction by saying, now we all need to get out and vote for Philip because the guy we got in there now is no good at all. So you don't always get those kind, warm introductions. I appreciate the horse race music there. I got a limited amount of time, I'm told, so I got to talk quick. I got one thing on my mind this morning, and that's jobs. Jobs, jobs, jobs. We need to create jobs in Mississippi. This past session, we did a lot in that direction. We passed a lot. Governor Bryant has called this the most business-friendly legislative session in Mississippi history this past year. We passed legislation to phase out the inventory tax. We passed the Small Business Regulatory Flexibility Act to help small businesses. We passed a workers' comp law to help level the playing field between employers and employees. And all these things were done with the intent of creating a more business-friendly environment here in Mississippi. But we're not done yet. We got a lot more to do, and that's what I want to talk to you about here this morning. To me, jobs begins with an educated workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got to do better with education in Mississippi. We continue to rank at the bottom nationally, and we have been for 40 years. What we're doing isn't working. We got to make great strides in improving our educational opportunities for our children. I saw a chart recently that showed the amount of money we have put into education over the last 20 years. It's a 400% increase. The chart goes up like that. But the results show a flat line on ACT scores. 18 has been our standard ACT score for the last 40 years. What we're doing isn't working. We got to try something new. I'm here to say that I think school choice is an option we got to try. This is something that we've got to, we're no longer competing just with the town next door. Clinton's just not competing with Jackson anymore. We're not even competing with other towns in the state. We're competing internationally now. We got students in Vermont and Arizona and in Japan who are competing with our children for jobs. We have to do a better job of educating our children. We got to do a better job of helping them. I like Forrest Thigpen's analogy of the grocery store. Some of you may have heard that. Imagine if you lived in a town and you were required to go to the grocery store that was in your town. You couldn't go to another grocery store. Well, as long as that grocery store provides what you need, you're in good shape. But if they stop carrying milk or they stop carrying bread, you're going to be in a bind if you can't go somewhere else. We don't apply that logic to any other aspect of our lives. You get to pick what doctor you want to go to. You get to pick the mechanic. You get to pick the dry cleaners. You get to pick your church. But yet we tell our children, you got to go to this particular school. And if that school doesn't provide what you need, you have no other choice. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to do better. Our children deserve better. We got to be able to take that same logic and strategy that we use in our everyday lives and apply it to our school choice. I'm going to ask you to support your legislators this year as we entertain school choice, as we move forward with this idea. I want you to come alongside of them and tell them you support that as well. I also want to talk a little bit about my Ideas Tour. Many of you may have seen recently that we went all over the state. We took the legislators to the people. We went all over the state. We had 9 stops across the state of Mississippi. We did 4 in North Mississippi, 2 in Central Mississippi, and 3 in South Mississippi. And the whole idea behind this was to gather ideas from the citizens about how we can improve the state. What can we do? What are your ideas for solutions in Mississippi? The thing was called MS Solutions, an Ideas Tour. The whole point was to get ideas for how we can improve Mississippi. But what we got was, we need more stuff. We need more money. We need more money for health care. We need more money for housing. We need more money for education. We need more money for Medicaid. Are these really the solutions that we think are going to move Mississippi forward? Are these really the solutions that we think are going to create jobs? What was a disappointment to me, or a surprise, I should say, was that the business community didn't show up. I kept waiting for the business community to come out and say, we need jobs, and this is how we propose to get them. Here's our list of things that we need to do to create jobs. But they didn't come. I don't think those are the solutions or the best ideas that we have to move Mississippi forward. That doesn't create jobs. I had a conversation recently with a CEO of a company looking to relocate to Mississippi. And he told me what they look for. He said, the first thing we look for is an educated workforce. People who know how to work, who know how to do the job we're calling them to do. That goes back to what I talked about a minute ago. The second thing we look for is a reliable workforce. People are going to show up. They're dedicated to their jobs. They're loyal. They're excited about their jobs. Another thing he had on his list was safe communities. We need to have communities that are safe. When we bring people to your community to work there, we want to know that they're going to be safe. They're going to be taken care of. So crime is a factor. They want affordable housing. They want to know where their kids are going to go to school. What schooling opportunities are available for my child? Is there a good school in your community? They want to know where they're going to go to church. What are the church options that we have? They want to know about shopping opportunities. Where am I going to go on a Friday night to take my wife out to eat? They basically want to know what's the quality of life. Now, it seems to me this is the roadmap. This is where we need to be focusing our attention. These are the kind of ideas that I was hoping to get on the Ideas Tour. Seems to me this gives us the roadmap that we need to be focusing on in Mississippi on how to attract jobs. We need to be thinking about an educated workforce, a reliable workforce, safe communities, quality of life issues like churches, schools, shopping opportunities. Seems to me this is where we need to be focusing our attention. I saw an interview on TV the other night of a defensive tackle for the Indianapolis Colts. And they asked him, what is it like to play defensive tackle in the NFL? He said, well, you know, it's not rocket surgery. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't rocket surgery. This is common sense sort of stuff. These are the things we need to be focused on. To me, we need to ask ourselves, how do we stack up with this list of things this CEO gave me? How are we doing? Do we measure up? And if we don't measure up, what do we need to do to get ourselves moving in that right direction? How do we stand on safe communities? How do we stand on an educated workforce, a reliable workforce? How do we stand on providing quality of life issues like schools for our children? These are the things, these are the conversations that we need to be having. These are the questions we need to be asking ourselves. So I'm challenging you today to let's move along together in this direction. Someone asked me what I was doing today. I said, I'm speaking to MEC. They said, what is MEC? I said, MEC are the business and community leaders of this state. These people in this tent are this is where the hope for the state lies. You people are the leaders of this state, not the legislature. You've been to the legislature. You've seen what we do down there. I would hate to think our hope lies in the legislature. You are the hope. You're the ones that's going to provide the quality of life issues that we need to move this state forward. So I'm asking you to come alongside of us. Let's partner together, and let's begin moving Mississippi forward in this area to create more jobs. Thank you so much for letting me be with you here today.